Breaking chains is wrestling with demonic in the demonic world. Ephesians 6 and 12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood." Wrestle. There's a fight. Those of you that don't understand, you're in a war. That's the reason why you got all kind of desires going on. But I got a bunch of checklists for you today. I'm gonna make it real easy. You're just gonna be able to write your checklist down, or go back on, be able to see the replay and work that checklist. The checklist. They used to call me the how-to lady because I used to be seminars, still trying to Google it, trying to figure out stuff. I said, I used to say that. I didn't even know I was going to be speaking at that time. I said, you know what? I said, when I speak, I said, I'm going to give people a checklist and I'm going to tell them how to. Well, guess what we're doing today? Checklists and how to. That's what we're doing. We are. And it says, but against principalities and against powers and against rulers of the darkness of this world, rulers of this world, not the heavens, of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. See, if you're not of that demonic world and you wasn't raised with that, sometimes you can't even fathom that, you know, somebody could try to feed you something, or somebody could try to put something in your house, or somebody could try to do something against your marriage because they just don't like you. They just think you look like too nice of a family. Or somebody don't like the fact that you got two cars, or your lot is bigger than their lot. Lord have mercy. See, because there's spiritual wickedness in high places. Sometimes you have to realize you have to deal with your past. Some of you all, including myself, when you didn't have wisdom, you hooked up with a lot of wicked people that you didn't know who you were hooked up with. It is important that you know who you merge with. Because, see, later you find out that you will hook up to wickedness. And then when you come in agreement with that person, even though that person leaves, guess what? They leave seeds and residue. That's why your money is attacked. That's why all your relationships attacked. That's why all of a sudden the future business, you used to have this aspiration for business. You know what God had called you for, and all of a sudden it's dwindling. Who are you connected to? They could be releasing chains to you. That's why we're going to do some activation today. Let's go to we have two other founder in scriptures. 1 Peter 5 and 8. It said, be sober, be vigilant. And because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, he act like he's a roaring lion. This is the reason why holiness is a good thing. And I call holiness living the best that you can to please God and honor him by his word. That's it. That's what it is. See, it's sin that makes you feel guilty. It's sin that makes you think God's not going to be there. Why wouldn't he be there? His word is true. He don't lie. He performs his word. So what makes you think God wouldn't be there for you? It's when you sin. It's when you backed off from him, when you've done it your way. So whenever you've done that, then you don't know. There's an instant guilt that comes. So now you're wondering whether or not God's going to be there. Lord, is he going to be there? Lord, you going to answer me? Prophet, the Lord ain't answer me. Why? I don't know. I don't know if the Lord's going to do it. Can I believe he's going to do it? Well, why wouldn't you believe? You activated his word, right? You're walking in his word. And it says, as a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour. There's an enemy that's roaming. He's looking for any open door. He's looking for the father that decided not to go home that night. So he got to the child. He's looking for the wife that just decided that she was going to take one of her little joy rides and she was going to go incognito from her family. Or the grandmother that just decided that they were going to work curse their grandchild, and those seeds fell in that child's mind, not that child's wrestling. He said, as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour. Ephesians 6 and 11. But put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles. What are the wiles of the devil? Well, let's talk about some of the chains that the enemy put, and they gonna look like the wiles. So this is a list for you. Let's get ready for our list. Somebody turn and say she gonna give us a list. Ooh, we gonna be strapped up. Yeah, we gonna be strapped up. We gonna be strapped up. So there are demonic chains that come in a person's life. And these chains come to move you off the things of God. I need you to understand that Satan does not like God. He don't like anything that represent God. He does not like holiness. Why do you think they don't like you on your job? Because of what you're walking in. It's what you're wearing. If you went along with everybody else, you would be fine. But it's what you're wearing. He doesn't like anything that represent God. So number one, let's talk about the chains of bondage. Thoughts and consistent thinking. The enemy bombards you with constant thoughts. Whenever it wants to push you in sin, think about it. Come on, let's everybody. Whenever you got harassed by the enemy, what did he? He didn't start with one thought. What he did? Two, three, four, five. Somebody else confirmed, and another thing came, and another thing, and all of a sudden you say, "Oh, that must be God." And it don't have a characteristic of God. It don't look like God. It don't smell like God. You know it's not God. But what he did, he tricked you in your thoughts. He made you come in agreement with it, with your thoughts. One time a little child said, he said, "Why I keep having all these bombarding of thoughts?" I said, "Well, that's a big word. Where'd you learn that word from?" He says, "I just feel like they doing this." I said, "Really?" I said, "Tell me what the thoughts are." He said he had pulled his phone up, and he said he opened up an email and he hit on it. He says that all this other nasty stuff was coming on his phone. He said, "Prophetess, from then on," he said, "I've been having the battles." He said, thoughts after thoughts after thoughts from one picture. One. Because that's the traits of the enemy when he drops thoughts and thinking. Number two, voice of temptation. The enemy has a voice of temptation to lure you. One of the greatest things is for him to move you off path. So whenever an anointed vessel, a person that's soaking in God, seeking the Lord, you better don't think you just all strapped up. You better know you got to have a consistent walk with God, because you are a prime target. You have a word of the Lord to speak. You have a word to give to someone. You said yes to your calling. You said yes to the anointing. You are a prime target. Because do you know each one of you represent thousands of people? Do you know that? In a lifetime, you don't know how many people you will measure. Your life will be a walking banner for them. You don't know that. So that means you changing people and don't even know who they are. I had mentioned that there are different type of consecrations that we go on periodically. But sometimes when I'm in a room, I'm locked into the room of here. And so they kept saying, well, I said, "Well, why all these people are asking me about a consecration?" They said, "Well, they heard you online." I said, sometimes I don't even realize the volumes of people that are watching, because I'm locked into the room." And they say, "What?" I said, "Well, I keep getting all these emails, and I'm like, what is going on?" I said, "You don't realize it?" I said, "No, because I'm locked in the room." But you know what I've learned? You could be a walking banner and you don't know it. Your life represents something. What does it represent? Tell me what you're teaching your children. Do you know you're a walking banner for them? Do you know daughters are going to know how to love their husbands by what they see their daddies do? hmm They're going to know how they should act as a mother by how their mother acts. It's like a duplicate. Oh, Lord, y'all should see y'all faces. Everybody's eyes went like, whoa. Definitely. There's a voice of temptation that you must fight. You must fight it. That's the reason why you need to see. That's the reason why you need eyes to see. The spirit of temptation is a luring voice. It comes contrary to God to be able to lure you into another place. Number three, the touch of seduction. There are times that there is a seductive spirit that lures people. You don't realize that when you open up a door to go into flirting, you open up a door of seduction. And that one touch goes into many other different areas. My God, I don't think nobody understanding what I'm saying. That y'all ever heard of the one touch? One. Because it's a touch of seduction. Number four, the walk of lust. You're going to find that there's many times that sometimes lust comes from generational things. I often say that you will think you're fighting something that's your own, but what you don't realize that it has a time sensitive on it. When that child gets 15, do you know when the enemy, now I need you to see in the spirit realm. So grandfather at 13 dealt with something. So now grandfather's passed on, gone on to glory. Mama don't think to tell the son, I need you to monitor this. So now your son at 15, all of a sudden, there's a time stamped. And all of a sudden that child starts to, and they'll go, I don't know what happened to Harry. Harry just started flipping out at 15. It was a time stamp from the generational lust. This is the reason why you need to talk to your children. You need to tell them what's in the generation. Some of the stuff is not your stuff. You need to go in and track down your stuff. Okay, now let me just tell y'all, give y'all some wisdom. Sometimes these parents don't like to talk about their stuff, but I could tell you how to give them some wisdom, you know? Yeah, you got to go help mama cook the gumbo, you know? Help her flip some biscuits and stuff and clean the house. And mama, how you was doing it? What you was doing at 15? You know, do I look like you at 15? Yeah, you need to find what's in your DNA before you at 15 turns into 25. And at 25, there was a lot of things going on. My God. Do we need to have a talk? Let me say this. There are timestamps. Why don't y'all do your generational check? Think about it. Think about all the males in the life. Think about it. Start from grandpa and think about all the males. Think about which one of the grandchild that picked up the thing from grandpa. Never met grandfather. Don't even know him. Generational demons are something else. They show up at time stamped and nobody knows unless somebody has eyes to see and say, wait a minute. That happened to Papa. Oh, that happened to my mama. That happened to my mama's brother. Wait a minute. All the males in here, everybody had children at 15. Oh, wait a minute. What is that? That's a time stamp. That's a time stamp of the enemy. But you know what you're doing? You beating that kid from one end to the next. You didn't. I'm putting you out. But what you don't know, you're rejecting the person or the child. But you're dealing with a generational demon, and you got to do it in the spirit, not in the flesh. Beating the child is not going to do it. Somebody needs to say, if every child, every one of my children, at one time, I say, whoa, what is this? Because you need to look in the spirit realm. Number four is the walk of lust. What's walking in you? What are you walking in? Where did the desires come from? Do you know that you can harass and you can speak against your desires? You don't have to live into that. This is the reason why you need to know the word of God. So that way, when that other nature fly starts showing up in you, you be like, wait a minute, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is contrary to God. But you have to understand, and parents, let me say this to you. You know, what about when you had your voice of temptation? Did you ever tell your child that you had your voice of temptation? Maybe that might be able to warn them when theirs come. And they may come to you and say, well, Daddy, can you help me? I'm wrestling with this. Sometimes parents don't tell their kids that they battle with some of the same things. You really think that that's actually making them make you think you're all that and they would honor you, but it's really not. They will honor you for you telling them and giving them the wisdom to avoid the trap. Number 5, no regards for your future or your legacy. It's an unwise person that does not even think about what am I going to pass on to my children. Whatever you don't deal with in your life, your children will deal with it. Whatever demon you don't conquer will show up in your grandchildren. Oh, nobody heard me today. What you don't conquer, your children will battle at a greater degree. Okay. Number 6, no regard for your home. Whatever you bring in your home that's outside of the will of God, guess what? I know you said, well, that's my kid. That's my son, and I don't want, I don't want to run him away. So you want to let him just pack the demons in the house. So not all the kids battling with stuff because you just love your oldest son. Okay. hmm No, but see, whenever chains come in a person or in their lives, they don't think well. They don't think things out. I've had so many people tell, what they'll tell me? I didn't know that was going to cause that. I didn't know that was that bad. So now you got a whole house flooding. Men, let me tell you how powerful you are. See, God said it that the man is head. He's powerful to the point if he moves out of that place, that woman is not covered. She can't walk in his shoes. So therefore she don't see like he see. He's got a radar eyes to see and know like nothing like her. See, her thought is the care of her children and what they're going to eat and how I need to love them. Okay, let's go to Adam and Eve. Eve worried about an apple trying to get her some nice dinner. Her nice dinner got us all jacked up for a whole long time. I wish she would have left the apple and just went on and just rolled with whatever her husband was going to go kill out in the garden. Oh, then, at that point, it was perfect. So they probably could just talk to the food and the food would have just jumped in the plate. It was perfect. Perfect. There was nothing wrong there. The flowers, everything probably just like in heaven. Everybody ever had a visitation in heaven? Flowers talking. They're beautiful and they're wonderful, right? Well, it was a perfect garden. Perfect. So the food probably just fixed itself. Or they just looked at it and said, I'm hungry. Feed me. But no, she had to go try to make provision. Don't that sound like some of us single mothers, right? I got to take care of my kids. I'm sitting here asking them, do you know Jesus and how delivered you are? I had to take care of my kids. Lady, are you delivered? We're trying to make sure the kids stay delivered. Are you delivered? And what are you bringing in the house? Next is number 7, drawn to your past. When chains of bondage come on you, you will draw to your past. You will keep looking for the old. You going to go find Baby Ray because Baby Ray was from the past. You remember Baby Ray from 10 years ago. Why you're not even the same person Baby Ray knew. Why you looking for him? Why you dreaming about him? He don't even look the same. What you doing? You in delusion. Okay, I understand. This message must be just for me. Maybe it's just for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just for me. But you're drawn. When chains come, you're drawn. You're drawn to the same addiction. You're drawn to the same thing. But let's flip that in the spirit. When you have an outpouring of God on the inside and the Lord has deposited some power on the inside of you, do you know you will begin to draw the people with like anointings? That's why you could sit in your church and all of a sudden you drowning in there and it's not enough. Because see, one day somebody pitched you a chunk of a steak and all of a sudden you're going, chopped liver is not as good. I think I'm going back to that steak. And before you know it, you got a T-bone inside of your belly and you looking for the rare meat of God. Kandirasha. Now, those of you that you find yourself drawn to your past, that's a flicker of needing deliverance. See, the minute you all of a sudden, and then you'll know it because when you open the door, the demonic world, it sends a buzz to all the little imps, and they all start texting you. No, all out of nowhere. You go to Walmart, there they go. They don't even live in the city. Why are you in my Walmart? Like, why? Why are you there? You live way half 10 cities away. Why are you in my Walmart? You know why? Because that's a demonic meetup. That's what it is. Oh, it's a meetup, all right, but it's a demonic meetup. Yeah, you know what? It's coming back to check. Ooh, that was a check from the past. See, and let me say this. See, when you soaring in the spirit, oh my God, you went there. You know, you went to church. You got delivered. You know, you stayed on that floor. You must have puked up anything that looked like it was in your guts, right? You know God touched you. You know you had a deliverance. And next week on that Monday, don't Harry text you? Don't he send some flowers to your house? You better send them flowers back. I remember one time at the office, somebody sent me some flowers. I said, give them to the receptionist. Tell her, send them back. And they kept saying, they're just flowers. I said, I'm not accepting. Send it back. And she was like, but they're so, I said, what did I say? Tell them, send it back. And she told the man, she said, she don't want it. You got to come back and take it. And the florist man said, well, I have to do it. I said, tell him, send it back. Want me to come in agreement. The devil is a lie. I just got out of so much bondage. Oh, I'm free. I learned what freedom was. You know, when you learn what freedom is, right? All of a sudden, look like the curtains come. Oh, look like somebody just go, ooh, all of a sudden I go, oh, I know you now. I don't care. I buy my own self roses. Nah, I'm not going to plant them in the garden because I ain't got time to do that, but I'm going to do my own roses. Yeah, some of y'all taking roses and all that stuff, trying just because you want a cheap date. Buy your own self a steak. What you going to pick up over that table? You know, you cut bread with people. You know, that's joining anointing. That's joining power. That could be great. But what happened if it's on the demonic side? What you doing? You trading off demons all over a cheap steak. You're going to be regurgitating that steak for a couple of years. You're going to remember that steak. You're going to be like, oh, I remember this. I remember that steak. I knew I shouldn't have went to Longhorn. I knew I shouldn't have went there. My God. Number 8, returning to your old friends. Number 9, cravings out of control. Now, let me say this. I know it sounds comical, but I'm telling you. See, when that demon drops that addiction thing in you, you can't stop it. Let me give you a natural example. You had one donut and you've tasted the donut with the cream fill, and all of a sudden you need 4 that day, and you need one on Tuesday, you need one on Thursday. You just kept going, and you know what? The cravings. Yeah, that's why I don't eat donuts today. I'm not. No donuts. Nope. Nope. Cravings out of control. And you know, all addictions is not sexual. All addictions are not. It's not drug. You know, you can crave M&Ms. You know, some people got a whole bag of M&Ms, the big bag ones. We used to have a little minty, and I would look in her car. I said, "Girl, who is that big bag of M&Ms for?" I said, "I know that little bitty girl is not eating that whole bag of M&Ms." Oh, prophetess, you know, I just have to have. I said, "Girl, what are you feeding?" I bet now when she picked me up in her car, the car is immaculate. It's immaculate. Don't have nothing in it, right? I say, I saw them big bag of M&Ms. I know you feeding something. When those cravings come, they're feeding something. And you have to ask the Lord, well, Lord, what is this? Where did this come from? Transferring the spirits is a real thing. See, at one time I used to say, they just too overboard. They just so overboard. Like, what you mean transferring the spirit? We got to be in this world. Yeah, but I don't have to hook up with what's in you. I leave you, and now I got your words. I got your thoughts. I got your feelings. All of a sudden, I'm using slang words just like you. All of a sudden, my voice sounds like you, and now I'm craving what you craving. No, baby, I'm sorry. That's a wrong. That was a download. That's a wrong download. I just got a deposit from you, and I don't even know what hit me. My God. Number 10, addictions. Addictions of any kind. Addictions is the power of the enemy to command you to desire what he wants you to desire. Addictions always want you to desire something that's going to tear up your body, your family, your life, and your money all the time. Every addiction, every one of them, is going to tear up something. It's going to go after your body. It's going anything out of balance in anything is not right. I don't care what it is. Antibiotics is great for you, but go ahead and take too many. Just take too many. Everything. So every day you should decree and declare balance in your life. Let me give you an example. I believe husbands should work and get overtime and try to help their family and prepare for the next house and prepare for the children's college. Absolutely. But go on. Too much working. You're going to leave something drop. That means your presence not going to be in the house, so you're not going to see when baby boy is hurting. You're going to miss when the woman needs that pillow talk. See, you're going to miss it. So you're going to leave a window for the enemy to come in. Well, that's my job. It's my job. Yes, it is, but everything in balance. Say, Lord, help me to be balanced. Yeah, go ahead on and don't love that wife enough. Go ahead on and don't hug that kid enough. You're going to leave a gap open. And somebody gonna fill it for you. Who's filling it? It's your job to be balanced. Yes. You work as that team. Next is number 11 is going to be strange desires. Never had a desire. All of a sudden now you just got to have all kind of strange stuff just going wild. There's something has been deposited in you. I've even had some people to say, but prophetess, this ain't even me. I said, then if you know it's not you, baby, we need to figure out what alien has dropped in you. I said, because there is one. And you got to figure out what it is. This is where you go before God and you back up and you ask the Lord. And this is what you do. You cut off everybody for a moment. See, for like 2 weeks, just cut off everybody. And then you know what? Add them back on little bit by little bit so you could see who the sniper is. There's a sniper in there and you don't know who it is, but you got to cut them all off. Everybody. They say, oh, Lord, prophetess and told everybody get rid of their family and everybody. No, baby, get rid of the carriers. You get rid of all of them and then you're going to find out who's depositing in you. Let me say this. The minute you sense that something is going wrong and all of a sudden you got these wrong desires, please don't flirt with it. Don't be lazy. Oh, I'm going to deal with that later. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to wait till Sunday and talk to pastor. What? You better go on and hit that floor and talk to the heavens before that thing become a stronghold and that devil get a foothold in you. You don't let it get that strong. You stop. I even tell children, I said, no. I said, wait, baby. No, you tell your daddy the minute you start battling. Tell your daddy what happened at school. Do not hold it. You struggling? Wait a minute. Tell daddy. Go tell mama. Go tell grandmother. Tell them. Tell them what's happening. Because by the time you finish, what you think was a little lizard has become an anaconda. But see, what you don't know is, you were so busy working 3 and 4 different shifts. You didn't know when baby boy needed you. Now baby boy is struggling. And now it's to the point, it's almost a man size, and you don't know what to do. My God. Number 12 is hateful thoughts. Whenever chains of bondage has come in you, your thought life going to change. It's always going to turn you against the people of God, the things of God. It's going to make you start hating people. All of a sudden now jealousy, everything is inside of you. That is all the attributes of the enemy. Jealousy, anger, bitterness.
one by one. We used to cry through the night, now we're dancing in the light.
He turned the silence into a song, and every battle he already won. Don't tell me it can't happen now. Breakthrough showed up at my house. Breakthrough hit my house. Joy just walked in. Peace filled the room, and lack had to end. Glory in the hallway, fire in the den. This is what happens when heaven moves in.
Got a call with a better job, bills paid, that's God. Used to feel like we were stuck, now we're swimming in favor and love.
I see the shift. I see the shift
In my house,
in my house.
devil can't stay, he's got to bounce. Glory came in and ran him out.
Breakthrough hit my house. Joy just walked in. Peace filled the room, and lack had to end. Glory in the hallway, fire in the den. This is what happens when heaven moves in. Healing in the kitchen, victory in the yard. Angels on the rooftop and Jesus in charge. Laughter in the morning, praise by night. This whole house shining with heaven's light.
You said you'd pour out your spirit on all flesh, and you kept your promise. Our house is filled with glory. Our kids are prophesying. Every door that was shut is now open. This is holy ground.
Breakthrough hit my house. Joy just walked in. Peace filled the room, and lack had to end. Glory in the hallway, fire in the den. This is what happens when heaven moves in. This house is holy now. This house is yours. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Oh, oh, oh.
It's time to release war on the enemy. Prophetic War and Decrees by Prophetess Miranda. Available now. Visit prophetessmiranda.com to order today.